AM700 KSEV Open House Radio Show. Time for our mailbox segment for the day. Today's question: which do you think has the most bearing on whether or not a home will sell? Price, condition, or location? Well, if you were just listening to my conversation with Asa Weldon with Champions Real Estate Group, it's price. There's no question. It is price. Price sells everything right now, especially in this market. 55,000 houses on the market in the Houston area. Price makes the difference. That's all there is to it. You know, any single thing, the condition or the location or the price, can kill a sale or it can make a sale. But when we're talking about which single feature makes the most difference, we're talking about price. Look at it this way. Can price affect condition? No. Can price affect location? No. But is the reverse true? Yes. Can condition affect the price? Absolutely, and it does every day. Can location affect the price? The answer to that is yes, and it does every day. So price is the single most important factor that we have to take into consideration. And it's not just price, it's price that is appropriate for what we have to offer. That's what it comes down to. And that's what we have to look at. In any given transaction, what we look at is we have a seller who can go down to a certain point. We have a buyer who's willing to come up to a certain point. Do those points meet? If the answer is yes, we can make a deal. If the points don't meet, we can't make a deal. So for a seller, that's what you have to think about. What you have to think about as a seller is, can I get that point down far enough that I can attract at least one buyer? It's all I need. I don't need 15 or 20 of them. I only need one, the right one. So if we can make that happen, we've got it made. If we can't make it happen, then we'll probably end up an expired listing, or we'll end up eventually getting down to that price that's going to make a buyer go ahead and buy the property. We can change certain things to make that price go a little higher, to attract that buyer to go a little higher. We can do certain things to make that happen, like condition. We can change the condition of a property. The danger for a seller is when we make those changes condition-wise, we have to make sure that they are changes that will attract those buyers to pay more money. We can paint a house a certain color and it might not attract buyers. If we go neutral, then we're going to have a better chance of attracting more buyers. So we just have to not just do something, we have to do the right thing. It's the only way that we can do it. And the other thing we have to, as sellers, that we have to look at when it comes to price and condition, the two things together, is that sometimes just because we spend $10,000 for a new roof does not mean that our house is worth $10,000 more than the house next door. They have a roof too. Even if their roof is 7, 8, 10 years old, there's still value in that roof. So just because you paid $10,000 on a roof for that new home, or for that home, does not mean that your house is now worth $10,000 more than the house next door. Sometimes what we're talking about is called equity recovery. Maybe because our roof was bad, the roof next door was 10 years old, but it still had value. Our roof is leaking and needs to be replaced. Maybe our house was worth $10,000 less than the house next door. Now that we have a new roof put on, we have recovered that equity, and now it is worth what the house next door is worth. So we don't want to go to the extent of thinking that every time we do something to change the condition of that property, that we have made that property worth more money than what it would be worth. That's the danger. That's the thing that we need to look at when it comes down to it. Appropriate price for what we have to offer. That's the most important factor. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to be talking to Christy